You're a Mark's fan now. That's how it works.
I'm sure you heard that loud and clear. Recording in progress.
Yep.
You know, we can get fucking sued. We got Mat Edgar with us, American comedian, little brother of Jason Tebow. No, I'm joking. Gets his hand me down.
That's my big credit.
Yeah, you get his hand me down.
If you like Tebow, you love me.
Yeah, man. Well, I saw one of your bits, and it really made me laugh when your dad was in the audience, and you're just ripping into him.
You saw that? Yeah, dude. I did a show. You know, I've been doing stand-up for 14 years. And my dad has come see me twice. It's, you know, mostly I don't want my dad at my, it's just like the pressure of having family, at least in the first 10 years. Now I'm like, cool, I don't care who comes to my shows now. But my dad hadn't made his way out. And he came to a big show. I sold out this music venue. And I'm up there and it's fun. We're all everybody's laughing. And I'm looking at my dad and he's just sitting there.
Did you know he was coming?
Yeah, well, no, I knew he was invited, but he's just not laughing. I'm like, dude, finally, I mean, I was cool for a minute, you know, I'm like, he's getting comfortable. But then like, I'm just staring at him, staring at me. I'm like, are you even fucking here? Look at this. Look what I'm doing. That was some real shit. I mean, it was fun. I mean, I was joking. I didn't really care. I wasn't mad at my dad, but it was just like funny that like he was really not paying attention.
That's awesome though. Made for a good set though. You know, you're working the crowd. I love a comedian that's really good with improvisation and working the crowd.
Well, that's like a Comedy Store thing. Kind of to survive in the Comedy Store scene is like you got to be good. You got to be good on your feet. You know what I mean?
When was the golden age of the Comedy Store, would you say? Because I know, you know, the pandemic and all that sort of killed it a little bit, and everyone's moving over to Austin, Texas, and Florida.
Yeah, I remember a story when because Joe Rogan left, didn't he, after the Mencia situation? And apparently that's when it died. But I might be wrong. I never went. So
funny. I get there, and so that happened in 2007, and I'm gonna get the months mixed up, but sometime in the summer of 2007, because I started this month. Actually, the show that you're talking about with my dad, that was my birthday show. That was my 14-year anniversary in comedy. And about a month before that, 14 years ago, was when the Rogan Mencia thing happened. And Rogan left, and I get to the store, always dreaming of being at the Comedy Store. And thinking it's like this glamorous, cool, you know, what it's like portrayed as in the mythology of it. And I get there and it's like a fucking ghost town. Like I had missed the party clearly. And the Rogan stuff was still, you know, it's still hot. It was still warm from that night, you know?
Yeah.
They chose the wrong guy. They chose Carlos Mencia, who he had a TV show at the time, but he wasn't put his name on the marquee. He wasn't being promoted. He wouldn't let the store promote him. So it didn't sell tickets anyways. Joe, who was only so famous at the time. I mean, he was like,
Fear Factor.
What's that show? Yeah. Fear Factor. That might've been the most famous. Right. So it's like, that's where he was then. But it was still back then. Comedy was just so dead anyways. Like stand up as a whole was just not really popping. So, but he was one of the popular ones, I guess. And they decided to go with Carlos Mencia after that. And meanwhile, Joe's actually putting his name on the marquee, selling tickets. People are coming to see him. They're not coming for Mencia. And when they banned him, he just like, nobody came anymore. It's like, nope, there's like, it was just, that was it. But people were barely coming anyways. Yeah. It's like just a dead time in comedy.
Joe planted the seed in people's minds, I think. And after that, they started joining the dots because, you know, from what I understand, he'd be the kind of guy, and not just, this is Mencia, a lot of people would do this where they would sit at the open mic sessions and steal jokes from up and coming talents that had no influence, that had no leeway, no muscle. And they would just have to let it happen. And, you know, plagiarism's a fascinating thing because I was looking into it and there's like 4 different types of plagiarism. And it's, you
what's the one where you think of an idea but I haven't copied it and someone else has the idea? What's that? Is that like parallel thinking or something?
Osmosis.
Osmosis.
Yeah, but another one called patch. Like as writers, we have to be careful of this one. It's called mosaic plagiarism or patch writing, where you take a little bit Like you read a book and you think, oh, I like the way they describe that. I'm going to use that, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
and use it in a whole sentence.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, sorry.
Right. How much of the thing do you take? You know what I mean? Like, because there's also like, there's got to be room for like, inspired by, no, I shouldn't call it that.
Oh yeah.
Well, things are derivative.
Yeah.
I know.
I
love
you. Saying I love you. That's not copywritten, you know?
Totally, man. And like, and with all art, with all any kind of performance, we stand on the shoulders of giants, don't we?
Yeah.
So it's like people had come before us and cracked the code. And I think what we do in comedy, at least what I think, the way I think of it is like, it's not as much about me as it is about comedy as a whole. My time here doing stand-up, I hope to improve comedy, evolve that a little bit more. Whatever my place in it is, you know?
Yeah.
Because no matter what, when I'm an old man and I'm fucking doing casinos and I'm headlining this, you know, in front of a bunch of other old people, that's going to be the only place I do good. Like there's gonna be these kids that can fucking mop the floor with me. It's the way I do the old people now.
Yeah. I have no respect though for comedians that this was prevalent. I mean, this was widespread across the UK. You get comedians that would just do the same set for 15 years. And every time you put out a new special every 3 years, it would just be a variation of the last special. And I'm thinking, that's just lazy. They would never, can you still hear us? Yeah. Oh yeah, sound. They would never go to, it was like they were too good for open mic sessions. They were too good for the small crowd. They would only ever go to a place where it was like a 10,000.
I was thinking about this the other day, right? You know what it is? I think it's like really good actors who get stuff written for them in the UK. That's because PK always on TV shows. Lee Evans was in movies. I'm fucking losing my British comedians because they're all shit, but like, yeah, they're all in TV shows and movies and stuff. And then like you'll see them do stand up. And it's like, I seen him in fucking TV show last year. Why is he? But he was a good comedic actor, so people will just write stuff for them and then
right.
Well, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I think like it all goes back to like what like all your favorite art, whether it be music or anything, man. Like all those artists, they improved on what they had done. You know, Picasso didn't make just one thing like that. He built upon it and made there's a body of work. And I think when you get, think if he did just make the one thing, it like, I don't think he would have hit or it would have sustained and he wouldn't be this iconic figure in art, but like some of these guys, they got a solid 10 to 15 and they get seen and maybe it's not even so much about the act, but it's like that guy's perfect for this role, whether it be a part in a movie or a TV show or just something. Like sometimes people make it before they develop in comedy. And then at that point, where's the incentive to keep grinding as a stand-up? If, it
happened to Eddie Murphy.
I think there's like, there's right. I mean, he just hit the top and then what,
Exactly.
There's no more top from him. He was right at the tippity top though.
Man.
There's only down from there where he was though, isn't it?
I got an interesting one for you. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, it's like you take a guy like Bill Burr, right? Like we love Bill Burr, but Bill Burr's great at stand-up because he had to be that great to get anything. For some reason, Bill Burr wasn't going to be handed anything easily.
Yeah, no lead roles.
I mean, he starts in his 20s, starts stand-up in his 20s. We don't even know who he is till like, I mean, he isn't famous until his mid to late 40s. Yeah. And so that's just a grind. And that's from like having to, he didn't just do 1 hour, he did a bunch of hours and he's keeps on making more hours. And now it's just him, dude. He can't stop. And it doesn't matter what TV show he gets or what movie he gets, he'll always have another hour because he's just like twisted like that.
And he's a perfectionist. You can see it in him. Even when he's on the interviews describing how he went about the other things in his special, the color grading, the tone of it, where he's doing it, you can tell he puts a lot of thought into it. And I got a lot of respect from him. Here's a story you might already be familiar with, but it's one of my favorite stories, comedy related. Louis C.K. was talking about his inspiration from George Carlin, and Louis C.K. had found himself in that trap where he was doing the same hour for 15 years and it just wasn't going anywhere. He was getting gigs at like restaurants while people are eating. It was just absolute misery. And then he was listening to this tape cassette interview with George Carlin, and Carlin himself was saying, I spend all year getting that hour, and when I've done it, I scrap it and move on to the next hour. And that was Louis C.K.'s moment. So he scrapped 15 years, just gone, and started again. And that's when he started doing 2005 special. He got the Beacon Theater in New York. He started doing the place in Atlanta. And each time
fucking
bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, jerking it.
Which is that's when you've hit that pinnacle of success.
That's how confident he got. Yeah, just fucking
But even then, he still managed to turn that around.
You're not jerking off in front of openers as a opener.
Yeah,
like you are. You got to transcend. This is levels to this shit.
Well, it's like the same thing happened with Jean-Claude Van Damme. You hit the top, and then you can't get enough of a high. So you end up doing cocaine, or in Louis C.K.'s masturbating, that power thing, that I need power. And it can mess with your head. You got to stay humble. You got to keep your feet on the ground while keeping your head in the clouds simultaneously.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a give and take, dude, because we're all people. And especially comedians. Like, I mean, I know I can only speak on myself, and I hear it's kind of an age old thing, but like, in high school, I wasn't the fucking slayer of puss.
I wasn't like any of us were, man. We're doing podcasts for fuck's sake.
Right. Look at us. Yeah. So, but now all of a sudden, I learn how to make fun and be fun. Not just be funny, but like
be able to laugh at yourself. Self-deprecation.
It's like it's a humbling thing, guys, but there's something about that's liberating, and in being so liberating, you gain confidence, and when you got confidence, people, it attracts people. And so I think Louis, or I can't say, but I just like, if it were me, and I'm a guy that like I didn't start really getting laid until I was in comedy and started being cool or popular or anything like that. I mean, imagine after years, he was married, had kids, for so long, and then now he's just this rock star. Where's the line of like who's down to or not? I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not condoning what he did, by the way. I'm just saying that to be in a place so to be in a place so twisted to where you do that, where you even think that's okay. Like I want that. I want to think. The point is. Well, and the point is, it's like, I mean, it's like a joke to me that there's a level of success that makes you think that that's okay, and I'd strive for that. But the reality is he must have gotten lost somewhere along the way. I mean, obviously. Some
of his best jokes were about how much of a fucking loser he was while on tour. He talked about being in the hotel room, he said, from eating the chicken and the jerking off, and he said by 5 p.m. he just wants to get out of his room just once so he can be in the sun. And he does a whole bit on it. And I'm thinking,
and like his TV show is depressing too, man. Like it was like there's parts of it that were like he's like kind of pathetic, I
love the first episode. In the first episode where he's on the bus with his daughters, and there's all these I'd say about 7-8 years old, these kids. I don't know what grade you'd call that. And they're in the bus breaks down a really rough area of New York, and he says, right, get all the black kids to the window. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, man. I mean,
but it was funny.
He just, I mean, you could tell it's like he was probably a fucking dork for a long time, and I don't know, dude. I just think that like, there's no. I have a famous friend that told Chris D'Elia that like he's like he was trying to console him, and he was like, there's no handbook to this being kind of famous. This kind of fame. It's not a handbook to it. It's like you figure it out when you get there, but the world's watching you figure it out.
Yeah, it's weird. It must be because it's such a unique thing as well. No other animals or mammals or anything on this planet do that other than what we do, the whole hero worshiping scenario. Like, I mean, there are different levels of fame. We know what the top is. The top is Jack, fucking
Jack
Johnny
Black.
Depp. Johnny Depp. Fuck Jack Black.
Right.
Johnny Depp.
What's wrong with Jack Black?
No, just because that whole. I'm joking. I'll tell you in a minute. So, but Johnny Depp levels of fame, like Pirates of the Caribbean, where you can't go anywhere. Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley levels of fame. That is just where people want to, pull at your clothes and just tear you to pieces.
And you know what? Those people are different types of people too, man. Like, not only is it's such a high, they're not used. So Johnny Depp's a great example. I mean, that guy, when you're in the same room as him, like this is something nobody does this. I mean, you've got to be really famous to do this. You're in a room with Johnny Depp and somebody walks in, he goes up to that person immediately to not make it weird, because it's already you're gonna sit there and be like, oh my God, that's Johnny Depp. So like you enter the room, he walks right up to you, goes like, hey, I'm John. Like diffuses.
Yeah.
Nobody's
That's weird.
That's something that's weird, but it's like he has to do that, or else it's just awkward in here, because I'm clearly Johnny Depp and everybody is. I mean, that's at the forefront of what everybody's thinking here. But to him, aren't we all just hanging? So he wants to go up there and like diffuse the star thing immediately.
That must be a really weird scenario where you spent most of your life being completely obscure. No one gives a fuck about what you've been getting up to on social media. No one's giving the likes or the shares, and then suddenly, bang, and people are coming at you, and you don't know whether or not it's authentic or not. It kind of freaks you out. I mean, we're not there yet, but you know, if it does ever happen, we're going to make sure that we keep our fucking feet on the ground.
Well, you know, I think there's like, it's better to make it when you're older, obviously. I mean, when you're a kid, especially in my 20s, if I was in my 20s, if I had gotten famous in my 20s, I wouldn't be famous anymore. I would have fucked that up.
You'd be like Paulie Shaw.
I would have started masturbating in front of chicks there.
So we're good? Is that the green light? We're good.
Because your brain's not even fully formed. Like, I feel really sorry for young actors or young actors, especially when they make it in a big movie. Mm-hmm. You know, for example, I was watching, speaking of Jack Black, I was watching School of Rock. It was on Netflix a couple of weeks ago. And I'm thinking that was a big film. I realized the scale of how big that was. That was a tempo summer blockbuster of 2003.
People still go around quoting that today. That's nearly 20 years old.
Those kids were like 9, 10, 11 years old. For them to be famous for that year, bang, and obviously no one gives a shit anymore.
And totally, man.
Like,
no, that's crazy, dude.
I'm going to repeat what I'm not going to
say. They still went to school. They still went to school and shit, you know. Or like or Emma Watson, when the girl who plays Hermione in Harry Potter, one of the biggest franchises in the world, and she's still going to like a public school in that. Well, how crazy that must be.
Man, I'm trying to think of the Disney star that went to my high school, but they had she went to the middle school before my high school, but she made it, so she had to get like homeschool, but she would still go to the dances. Super famous Disney Channel.
I'm trying to think of a name. I know who you're talking about.
Girl,
Miley Cyrus.
Popular. No, before Miley. I'd say it's
Hillary Duff.
It's like
Hillary
Duff.
Is it Hillary
Duff?
There's another one as well that went off the deep end.
It doesn't matter. We got the right answer.
Hillary Duff would go to the school dances and stuff, and it was like, whoa. You know what I mean? Like, she's way more famous than.
I feel sorry for her because a lot of her films are shite.
Wow,
absolute shite. No,
I don't feel sorry for that,
bro.
Pardon?
I mean, most of it's shite. Most of it's shite. Dude, guys, you want to talk about fame? I just had a crazy experience this morning. So right now it's 12:35 p.m.
Hold on, you didn't walk on in the Louis C.K. masturbating, did you?
No.
Sorry, I'm going to keep bringing
it
up. I'll shut
Keep bringing it up. Yeah. Once things start slowing down, get back to the jerking off jokes and we'll pick up the momentum. So at about 2 hours ago, I'm still kind of trembling from this. So my favorite band, it's been my favorite band for a few years now, like maybe since 2017 is when I found them. I even know the year that I found them. That's how much I love them. This band called War on Drugs. Have you heard of the War on Drugs?
No. Are they what kind of band are they?
They won the Grammy for Best Rock Album in 2017. So it's like I guess you would call it rock, but it's very chill, great band. Anyways, I mean, I got bootlegs on them. I'm a fucking dork about them, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in line there's this bagel truck that's really good. It's called Yeasty Boys out here in LA. There's like multiple ones, and they always park in front of usually a really great coffee shop. So me and my girlfriend went to go get the coffee bagel 1-2 punch. So she's in line for the coffee. I'm in line for the bagel. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, there's one person in front of me. And you know what? They're super busy. So like even the person taking the orders in the back, like nothing's happening in line. So I'm kind of starting to zone out. And I turn around and clear as day, feet away from me alone is the lead singer of the War on Drugs.
Nice.
So what would you do?
Well, I just like, I see him and I confirm that's him, and he's on the phone. So I hear his voice also. And I'm like, and I'm just like, my mind. Now I'm in LA. I'm used to, famous people, and everybody from LA is going to tell, every comedian from LA is like, I don't get starstruck. I don't get starstruck. And for the most part, I guess maybe we're desensitized to a lot of things. But if it's a personal favorite, current favorite, it's not like an old band that I used to love. It's like what I'm listening to now. You know what I mean? Like, so like, I see this guy and I like kind of shut down in line. Like I was so starstruck. Like I'm in my mind, I'm no longer in line. I'm standing there with my wallet and I'm like, just in the way at this point. Like, what the fuck? My girlfriend walks up, was like, that's the singer of the War on Drugs. And she's like, I mean, she knows that's cool for me, but it's not, she's like, okay, but I'm here for the fucking bagels. I give her my wallet and I just walk up to the dude, and mind you, and we're talking about fame. It's like, this guy to me is the most famous rock star on the planet. And we're sitting in line at this bagel spot on the sidewalk outside. There's plenty of people here and nobody has any idea who this dude is except for me. And I'm like pissing myself.
That's a nice feeling.
I was hoping if he jerked off in front of me, I'd at least I wouldn't participate, but I'd give him consent, and I wouldn't open up my mouth about it later. It'd be between us.
Do you know what though? It is nice feeling when you are a big fan of someone who's not massively famous,
right?
Because it feels like you're part of this unique little club. Where
that's exactly how I felt, because I was like, I didn't want to bug him. I didn't want to bug him. Didn't want to be that guy. I see people be that guy all the time, so I'm just like, I just went up, fist bump, like, hey, my favorite band. And he's like, oh, thank you. And I was like, and I love the live album. You just dropped the live album. So it's like, what's a current compliment? What's the most current, like, freshest compliment in your body of work? If I want to indulge in your music. Like I would, if I had this guy cornered and be like, can we just podcast for like an hour? Like I'd dork out over him. But instead,
just used to listening to his album. Like, yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'd be like, can you sing a few lines to me?
Serenade me, please. And
just serenade me. We don't need instruments. Yeah, whatever you need, man. You want to CK my face? That's what we do out here.
I love that. Champagne of victory, right?
Yeah.
So what about yourself though? Have you had any experiences with yourself? Like any sort of fans come up to you that having strangers come up to you that know more about you?
Messaging you on fucking Instagram asking you to do a podcast.
I get some dudes rolling in every now and then. A lot of times people roll in the DMs looking for mushrooms. They saw me talking about it. They think I'm not advertising stuff.
Yeah.
Like you're a dealer.
You know what's funny, man? It will happen, especially in LA, because I do a lot of comedy out here. Oh, when I was living in New York, it happened more. In New York, it's like such a scene. So like people yell at you, like it'd be daytime and I'd get Matt from across the street. And it's like a group of people. We saw you last night. Like, that's cool. LA definitely. But the thing about LA is like, sometimes I hang out with people way more famous than me. And it's like, I'm just like, I'm like, I look like I'm their fucking assist. I'm their intern.
Yeah.
Like, no, this is my boy Tony Hinchcliffe. We started out together. He's like, no, dude, you must be a producer.
I think the best type of fame to have would be the really famous for something out there, but no one gives a shit, like an astrophysicist or like, for example, a woman who got a Nobel Prize because she was part of the fucking pioneer.
Yeah, bro.
She discovered a volcano on a moon of Saturn, and it was the first.
Right. It's like a different type of fame. It's like a scholar type fame. It's like
recognition, knowledge.
Yeah. Yes, there's also a fame for, like, I'd say I call them rock star producers. There's rock star producers. It's like they are famous in the producer in like making shit happen.
Well, directors.
The most directors.
Not
there's
so
writers.
Much. Oh yeah.
There's writers that are famous for being writers, like
Vince Gilligan, who done Breaking Bad. If he was walking down the street,
man,
no one's gonna be like, yeah, fucking Breaking Bad director, bro. You know what I mean?
No, but when he signs the check and the guy's like, is that Vince Gilligan? I mean, yeah that's like, it's the singer of Jimmy World was like, he loves his level of fame because he'll go sell out a sports arena and then he'll go to the In-N-Out across the street after, and no one has any idea.
He's the sort of dude who could put a hat on. You wouldn't be like, oh, that's
you
wouldn't recognize him
because you're just like the singer from the War on Drugs. It's like he's famous for his music. You listen to the music. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
that's it.
I don't watch this guy. You got to be a real fan to actually know what he looks like. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, dude, there's definitely levels of this shit. And yeah, obviously, when I have my own show, when I headline a show, and it's like those are all my fans. So then I'm a fucking.
That's what you want as well. I bet it's
it.
like proper intimate as well when you're doing a show for your fans, like because they're there to see you.
Yeah,
they came to pay to see like 3 other stand-ups than you. They've come to see you. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I definitely get more wiggle room on stage that way. I get to be like, it's kind of it being my show. It's like I'll do more time. We'll get to know, and those are also the shows I usually will hang out after. If like. You know, when I was featuring a lot, when I was an opener, the really good headliners, they would destroy on stage. And then they had the humility to stand at the exit and people leave and they just saw this guy. They feel so close to him or her, whoever it is. But on the way out, you get the other experience of like, you get to go up to him, you know, like he's there, you take picture, like, hey, great job. He's like, thanks, man, you know, and all the guys I learned comedy from used to do that. And so now it's like, I do make a conscious effort these people pay money to see me. It's like, give them the full fucking thing. I'm not like, they could have done something else. They came and supported. I'll stand out, smoke with a few of them. Yeah. You know, I'm waiting to get fucking laced with PCP sometime or fentanyl shit.
Nice. I'm guessing you missed it then during the whole pandemic. You must, it was gone for your life or what? Is it back? Are you back to performing now though?
Yeah, I mean, well, so me and Rachel, my girlfriend, who also is a comedian, Rachel Wolfson, very funny. We found ways during the pandemic. There's outside shows, like we did shady shit to get on stage. Like I would do shows inside when we were not supposed to be inside. You know what I mean? But I felt more sick not being up there than waiting for this thing that could. I mean, I'll die doing what I love. You know what I mean? Like I've already made the deal. I'm gonna die.
That's so you've got no soul, mate. What's the point?
Yeah, man. I mean, this the soul death of like there might have been 3 months where I didn't go on at all. And that's the longest I have ever gone on by months. I mean, longest I would not go on before that in 14 years, maybe a week.
Yeah.
Maybe a week. And that's like shit's going down. Like I'm either on a vacation somewhere or I'm sick, like really sick enough to not go, which that's even my sick threshold. I've pulled myself up there. Yeah. You know, like in horrible conditions.
It was rough, man. Yeah, I remember that first week of lockdown we had in the UK, March 2020. You know what I mean? I spent a whole week just masturbating myself into acceptance. You know what I mean?
Did you get in on that free Pornhub?
Nah, you know what? Yeah, well, you know what? I couldn't get high.
Yeah,
I couldn't get high in the first week. I got different. I don't just choose one website, man. I just got favorite pages. Based on
do you? See, yeah.
But I've gone vegan, dude. When I say going vegan, it means I don't watch porn anymore. I've gone vegan.
Oh, good for you, man. It's funny because like, well, I have a girlfriend, and but if I didn't, I don't know, it'd be a different thing. But with a girlfriend and like not doing that, I see where it could fuck somebody up.
Yeah.
if you're doing it too much. But you know what's funny is that at the beginning of the pandemic, Pornhub made it free, like everybody for a month to stay inside. They convinced everybody, you know, we'll give you free access for a month. You get all of our premium shit. How dope is that? How fucking cool is that?
Jerk off, save lives.
I mean, Louis was just Louis. Nobody had a better pandemic than Louis. He gets all the free Pornhub.
Well, you know what's funny? Like for that first week, I couldn't get high because every time I'd smoke that pipe, I was like, oh shit, we're gonna die. You know what I mean? Every negative thought. Every negative thought.
Mate, it made it 10 times better for me. I love that into the world shit. I was like, yes, come on.
No, but I just kept going, oh no, I ain't got any tin food. My cousin warned me 2 years ago.
I don't want us all to die. I want like a survival situation. I know who I'm going to get. I got all my notes written down. Like, fuck, I'm going to go to this place first, then there, and then, oh, fuck that guy. We're not friends anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
I
got a whole fucking list sorted. But then it was just like, it's a flu.
What would the rules be though? Like, you got to keep on the move, or do you just have a base of
operations? It depends what
operations?
situation it is. In like this one, you just stay in your house. If it like it's different,
right.
You know what I mean?
No, but if it was
zombies,
what if it was zombies? You know, or people just going crazy?
Zombies. Yeah, I mean that's a different story. I'm convinced that I'd head for the roofs. I'd loot and go to a roof and just fucking see how long I could.
You'd be like Andy. You'd be Andy in Dawn of the Dead, gun shop owner.
Oh, I mean, is that what I don't know if I watched Dawn of the Dead, but I feel like, is that the one at the mall?
Yeah, the 2004 remake, Zack Snyder.
Yes.
And the guy across the car park.
Yep.
That would be you.
That's me. That's Andy. Me. I always related to that guy. Maybe that's where subconsciously I get the idea of heading for the roof.
There was on the DVD, they had some extras, and one of the extras was like Andy's home videos, and it was like a 20-minute featurette.
No shit.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. You can find it.
Yeah, but the way he dies is pathetic.
Yeah, it's so scary though. Like,
he dies of hunger, doesn't he?
When they get they get the binoculars out like that, and it just turns around and it's just a whiteboard covered in blood. Man, that hurt. Yeah, I felt that, dude. Because I like the relationship between him and Marcellus Wallace. I don't know the guy's name. I just call him Marcellus Wallace because he's in
right. Right. Vic
Rames.
Vin, yeah, Vic Rames.
Fuck pride.
I don't know his name in the movie. I just know he walks away at one point.
I love the bromance between those two. Yeah.
Do you guys know what a funny fucking an underrated funny movie is, and it's never been billed as a funny? It's like more of an action movie. But do you guys see 1998's Armageddon? 1998 was the year it came out. Michael Bay.
Seen it.
And you get Bruce Willis. You get Bruce Willis, Ben Affleck, Owen Wilson, Steve Buscemi, all these fucking great actors in space trying to blow up an asteroid that's on its way to Earth.
Yeah, they're oil miners, and they teach them how.
They're oil miners, so it's like this fish out of water. And like, there's this scene where the FBI is chasing down all these guys because they have this is the only crew on the planet that could save them, and so they got to go get Michael Clark Duncan, and he's out. It's so it's funny in a way that like they're trying to be funny, like it's written comedically. And it's just impressive that like an action movie, and it never got the credit for being as funny as it is.
Yeah, exactly. That I love that sort of 90s, 2000s tempo movie that just had no shame. It wasn't about being realistic. It wasn't about being that's why I like the 2003 film, The Core.
Which one was that? Did they go in the center of the Earth?
Yeah, and they have to restart the core.
Yeah.
See, the thing with Armageddon, though, why didn't they just teach astronauts to be oil miners?
Yeah, no. It would have been easier. Right? What's harder to do? Become an astronaut?
Yeah.
I don't know, mate. Oh, you've gone frozen. Stand by, people.
I mean, the guys in the oil, like, oh, are we here? You're
good. You're fine. Carry on.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm fucking. We're far away, guys. We're far away from each other.
Yeah, but the fact is, it works. That's what is fucking mesmerizing. You know, I mean, the first email was sent in 1969, and the guy was typing log on, but it froze halfway through log, and then that's the first ever email sent between England and North America.
As fuck.
I know. The same year that the Concorde came out.
Damn, bro.
Man, he's a harbor of information. That's
I'm autistic to fuck, mate.
Yeah, you're like Wikipedia.
I'm Asperger's to fuck.
Yeah, he can say that though. If I said that, I'd probably get cancelled.
Nah, man, you'd have to be known to be cancelled.
That's right. Hey, it'd be a fucking honor to get cancelled.
Yeah, my Facebook friends would go down to 250 from 250 to 55.
I gave up on Facebook a long time ago.
Yeah, same here. I haven't been on it in years.
I stay on it for the sole purpose of advertising purposes, but apart from that, like, no one likes my shit anyway. It's all Instagram, but fuck it. Like, I just still do it. Like, if any of my friends actually care, then
for Facebook, you're just cross-pollinating too many groups of people in your life that should never be within the same message board. You know what I'm saying?
I only know like fucking 5 of them. Literally 5 people on my Facebook I know personally. That's it.
But do you have family? Do you have family on there?
Yeah, they're included in the 5.
Right. Well, so like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I have real delinquent friends that are in comedy and stuff. Oh, actually, it's funny. You had Jason Tebow on. I stopped Facebook because of Jason Tebow. Like I got off.
Why?
2012, because Jason used to do this thing where if you left your phone down, he would take it. Big black cocks.
Yeah.
Big black cocks.
I remember.
And so I started smoking weed in 2011. And so I was like just starting to leave my phone everywhere. And he completely took advantage of that. And I wake up one morning and I got relatives coming out of the woodwork that I hadn't talked to in years. And they're like, you know, like, hey, if you need to talk, like maybe we should talk, but you shouldn't be putting this stuff out there. I'm like, what? You know, my dad, I get text messages from my dad like, hey, I don't know if you've been hacked, but you might want to check your Facebook and delete that. And I'm like, what? And I look and it's like, he wrote this thing. He goes, hey, hello, Facebook friends and family. And he goes like, I just wanted you all to know that, I'm gay and I prefer big black cock. And it was like, that was just no context, just left it out there. And the way my family,
context, man.
It doesn't need context. Well, it did for my family. And
especially in 2011 as well, because the freedom wasn't really a thing. So it's like, when you were writing statuses, it's like what you're actually doing. So people are taking that.
So it just like was just sloppy. And so at that point, I'm like, dude, I don't want to mix these. Like, it's fine that he did that. He's one of my best friends. It's like, he's kidding, you know, and anybody that knows me knows that somebody's fucking with me. Right. Like but my aunts that I don't talk to and they're on there, they have every right to be my Facebook friend. I mean, they knew me since I was a baby or whatever, but I just can't have it all happening on the same place. So like, oh, here we good.
Carry on.
So I go to Instagram for my debauchery.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I mean, it's a bit of a segue, but it is kind of like weed related, you know, like getting forgetful and shit or putting your phone down. So I'd broke up with my girlfriend at the time. This was like 7 years ago. And I went to go to my you know what it's like when you break up with a girlfriend that you've been quite close with, you sort of want to go see the bros immediately. You want to catch up with the bros. And that's what I did.
It's your salvation.
Yeah. So I'll go see the bros and a couple of days later, I'm talking to them about this type of chocolate called a Kinder Cake Bar. And it only exists in France. And it's the most delicious munchy food you'll ever get. And I was banging on about it. So I went on Amazon. I was like, oh, dude, here it is right here. And I'm high as fuck at the time, right? And I just ordered it. And then I'm waiting like 3-4 days and nothing shows up. And I go back to his house and I go back on Amazon to order a book. And then I go to click on confirm. And I'm like, oh shit, my address is still my ex-girlfriend's house. That's why I didn't get the fucking Kinder Cake bars. So I'm freaking out thinking we did not leave on good terms. She's going to get a box of 20 Kinder Cake bars addressed to me, wondering what the fuck's up. So I start panicking, go through my emails, for confirmation. There's no confirmation email. I go through my web history. It turned out I was so high that I literally just got to the page, looked at it, and put my phone down. I didn't even order it. I just made up the rest of the transaction.
You were high. You're so high for your own good. You know
exactly.
Like, any less higher, it would have went to her.
Yeah.
Any more high? I don't know. I think you hit the right spot.
Yeah. I just got to the page and stared at it and then put my phone down.
That's almost like when you accidentally like an ex's Instagram post because you're trying to zoom in.
Yeah, that's it. And you got to be careful with Instagram.
Why are you trying to zoom in?
Well,
hey, just fucking try to
side boob.
Yeah,
try to do a Louis.
Hey man, you guys don't like driving by. You don't like driving by your old neighborhoods.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I get you.
I was kidding.
I have
a good memory.
Sometimes you want to see if they're failing and worse than you in life, you know?
Yeah, you want to zoom in on the fucking wrinkles on their face, make sure they're dying properly.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to update the wank bank, you know, because they've aged 5 years since, you know, it's uploaded.
That's right.
Yeah.
Isn't it like 5 years in 5? Oh, you would know this, Mr. Autistic. Isn't it like something like it takes like 5 years for your cells to like
7 skeleton to replenish.
It depends on the tissue, but blood cells, skin cells, we're talking 4 to 6 weeks, but your skeleton takes 7 years to replenish itself. So we were saying that we should make a law where you cannot no longer get retroactively cancelled on social media if it was over 7
different
years
person,
ago. Different
right.
skeleton. Yeah, different skeleton, different morals.
It's like a statue of what's it called? Oh, you wouldn't know. This is an American law term. Statue of Liberty.
State of limitations.
State of limitations. Yeah.
Maybe that's the same. Okay, statute of limitations. That's what it's called. I'm so fucking high, guys. I'm sorry.
You don't look it.
It's all right, man.
What's up with these fucking California motherfuckers that just get high and don't look high? I'm so jealous. I look like fucking ET. I look like ET when I'm high.
Skin, I didn't have this light on. I look like a junkie.
They should practice this shit.
Yeah, statute of limitations should apply to social media with the skeleton clause.
Oh shit! I lost you for a sec. What was that?
I was just saying the skeleton clause should be. We need to start a trend. # skeleton clause.
Real shit, man. Everybody should have 7 years to forgiveness. Everybody's just cool after that.
Yeah. In our country, if you a debt after 6 years gets wiped. So, you hear that one all right?
What? No, I don't understand it though. You said if you are dead.
No, a debt. Sorry, debt.
Oh, in debt.
Sorry, it's my accent. It's my accent. So after 6 years of debt is written off.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking great. I mean, there's people here that can't get married. The debt in America. There are homeless people that are in debt right now.
What do they do?
They're living under bridges and shit.
Did bailiffs come up to them just like, I'm gonna have to take you?
Hey,
take your sleeping bag. Sorry, bro.
We have this TV show in the UK. We have a TV show in the UK called Can't Pay, We'll Take It Away, and it's a reality show filmed from the GoPros of the bailiffs.
Yeah.
And it's just funny. So
that's hilarious.
And
you're fucking kidding me.
It's high court bailiffs as well, so that they're like top of the food chain. Like once it gets to them, you're fucked.
Wow.
And, they're coming in and taking your shit.
What's good over there, man? What's good over there now? Like, what's some funny shit? Is there like good comedy? Any good stand-up?
The comedy's all right, but it's really underground at the moment. It hasn't reemerged yet. So you guys are way ahead on the comedy scene. TV's doing all right. TV seems to be good. We've got some good shows over here.
You ever heard of a show called Peep Show?
Yeah, I love the concept, man. Yeah, I've watched a few episodes. Really good. I just thought it was that's one of the shows I was jealous of. Like, fuck, man, that's a great idea.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite British TV comedy. Everyone says The Office and that, but that sense of humor is not really my style. The Peep Show is fucking.
We love Gervais, man. Here in America, he's ours basically. We fucking stole him from you guys.
Yeah, we were speaking about this the other day. Like, Ricky Gervais is another example of an actor who turned comedian. Well, I don't know if he did stand-up comedy before. I'm sure he was just a writer, but
do you know Carl Pilkington?
Is that the dude? Do you just have a Netflix special?
I don't know. He's a bold dude that's friends with Ricky Gervais, but he's just your typical everyman. Like he refuses to acknowledge his fame. He just lives in a typical 3-bedroom house with his wife.
Yeah,
but Ricky Gervais came up with an idea of a show to send him to other parts of the world, all paid for, just to see how because he was so stubborn. The man would never try and make an attempt to interact with the culture. And it's just so funny, like how irate this man would get.
It's called An Idiot Abroad. You should watch it. It's really good.
Yeah.
Idiot Abroad. Yeah. I've heard of that.
Yeah.
That's Carl Pilkington.
British TV show, mate. I struggle.
Line
most of the stuff.
Line of Duty is another good one. That's about British.
That's like a cop show, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a cop show, but it's about anti-corruption cops in Britain, and that's a really good one. I recommend.
Me and my girlfriend are obsessed with The Crown.
Oh, really? We fucking hate royalty.
What do you think? You hate royalty? I'm very curious. What are your guys' take on it?
Well,
I've never actually watched The Crown,
Well, it doesn't have to be a crown, but royalty in general. I'm fascinated by this.
It's just
hello, fucking wave to me. I'm fucking wrong. Fuck off. That's what I think about royalty.
once upon a time,
it's great. Great, man.
There was it's like we've had the same queen since 1956.
Yeah, but she's gonna outlive me.
She's old, man.
150 before she dies, bro.
Mate,
she's not letting Charles have that fucking. She is not letting Charles.
You know what's funny? Like when we got the queen's face on all our coins, and when you get like past 1997 coin, she has a double chin. I've noticed that double chin creeps in after 97.
So they update the coins with her chin.
Yeah, before 97, flat chin, no double chin. After 97, double chin.
They're gonna make these coins like wrinkly.
Yeah, she looks like a washed out stamp now, doesn't she?
Yeah, man. She's old.
I just think it's like it's so why do they keep up with it? Because you guys have a whole government that like is legit. Like
it's like anything in life. Like you guys, when you have like whenever the argument of gun laws is brought up, there's always the same argument. The same argument we have about the royalty here is pro-royalists will say, oh, but they bring in tourism, and she's head of state and blah, blah, blah. Whereas our side of the argument is saying, look, it's irrelevant, just it's kind of outdated. It's archaic. Yeah. It's unnecessary.
It's archaic, man. Yeah.
And, there's some shady shit that's gone down that kind of puts them in a bad light. Princess Diana died in 1997, and it's pretty obvious that her fucking ex-husband did that shit. Or the estate
man. So I feel like that's when, is that kind of the turning point? Like when it went from like a glamorous thing. Because, okay, as a young American watching Princess Di's rise and all that, and also being a kid, I wish I had a king and queen like we did. We wish it was like, nobody gave a fuck about the president when you're growing up, when you're a kid. But the fact that there's kings and queens out there, and we get to watch them, and it's kind of the way that like the Kardashians are now, right? Like it's like they're mob, they're super famous, they're zero talent. It's just literally, it's about being them. Would you say after the Princess Di stuff went down, that's when it kind of changed? Like, or were you guys, was that just the way it was portrayed, that it was like this like
we
glamorized thing?
We were 5 when it happened, but I remember because back then we only ever had 4 channels on TV. And every channel back to back was just playing the news.
Yeah, my mum would watch it all the time.
I remember, people were crying. Like when the footage of Princess Diana's coffin being taken to Kensington Palace, I think it was, there were miles and miles and miles of people just throwing roses, and you could hear through the footage people crying, wailing.
Yeah.
Because people she was loved.
They loved her. So, but to me, that's like good royalty, right? Like that to me is like an inspiring, like you want that in the country. But then after that, then what was there? You watch the kids grow up. I mean, I guess now it's about the juice. It's like juicy now.
The Queen's mother died in 2002, and we got the day off school, so that's always good.
I didn't. I had to watch the fucking funeral in school.
All right, no, I just didn't show up, and I just said,
I was watching the funeral in school, right? Year 4, this must have been. So how old am I? Like 10,
8, 9,
8. No,
yeah. They cancelled.
Anyway,
Mr. Bean when she died.
There was dudes crying in class, and I'm sitting there like. Maybe I didn't say these words as a kid, but I was like, these guys are fucking losers, man. What the fuck is it? Crying at someone they never met that wears a crown. Like, I didn't get it. I still don't.
Yeah.
It's not till I got a bit older when I realized like Princess Diana was just a normal person. Do you know what I mean?
I know she was sound, but then the Queen's mother died. But then 2012, I remember it was the 60th anniversary that the Queen had been in power, and we got another bank holiday off. And I think we're getting another bank holiday next year, so I'm fucking stoked. I'm pro.
All right. Well, how old is she next year? 100.
It'll be the 70th. She would have been on the throne for 70 years.
Yeah.
This is how famous Princess Di was. Like even here in America, I was on a camping trip with my parents. I might have been. How old are you?
We're 29.
29.
Yeah. So I'm 35. Okay, so I was a little bit older than you guys, but still a kid. And I was on a camping trip, and you said 97, right? It was like 96, 97. I mean, there wasn't like technology. Like we didn't have phones like that back then. Like. But so I'm in this remote area of the desert camping with my family. And then somehow word got all the way out there. Like there was no radio. Yeah. There was no, it's like,
the camping guy's got his radio like, Diana's dead.
The ranger wakes us up. Hey guys, we got some bad news coming from across the pond.
I don't know too much about royalty, but I can give you a little bit of royalty gossip for you if you're interested.
Yeah.
So, the next
Prince Andrew's a pedo.
Well, yeah, there's that too as well, yeah. But the next in line is Prince Charles. However, there's an issue. He's already divorced and remarried. And that's a big fucking no-no in the royalty because King George V wanted to get married to an American who was a divorcee, and he had to step down in order to marry this woman. And then King George VI, the King's Speech guy.
Yep.
That's King George VI. He took over.
Is that Queen's? That's Queen's father.
Yeah.
Yep. That's all in the crown. It's like everything I know is from
yeah. So
that guy, and he's portrayed as evil. He was in cahoots with the Nazis also, apparently.
Yeah, they didn't know which side to join, I don't think, at first.
Yeah, that's what sucks, man. Even
the Americans are like, these Nazis are onto something. Oh no, wait, no.
Everybody's like, let's see what this guy says.
Yeah, let's see that.
Give him a chance.
Oh, he's saying holiday pay. Workers get holiday pay. Oh yeah, that's cool. Oh no, we're out.
Whoa.
Attacking Poland. Holy shit, no, we're out.
Fuck Poland. Fuck Poland. Yeah. France. All right, fuck France.
England. I hear you.
Shit, we're next. Better step in before the shit goes fast.
Fuck Poland.
Yeah. So Charles. So Charles is that's Di's ex-husband.
Yeah. They got divorced.
Diana's ex-husband.
They got divorced.
Right. They got divorced, and he's with what's her name?
Camilla.
Right.
But she was going to get married. Diana was going to get married to a Muslim, and she was pregnant with him. And he died. Right. He died in the car crash as well.
Yeah.
And she was pregnant.
Fucking shady, dude.
Fucking shady, bro. But you know what's funny? Like the fucking limousine, either the butler or the limousine driver, every couple of years he comes out the woodwork with a new story and a new book.
It's like, Paul Burrell.
Yeah, that's it. Remember him? He was on a TV show. It's very similar to Fear Factor, but in the UK it's called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. And this has been going on since like 2002. They send a bunch of celebrities over to Australia in like some weird camp in the arse of nowhere, and they all have to go through tasks to get food and stuff like that for the rest of the camp. And this butler of Princess Diana put his hand in a hole like that to get the stars. And there's all these like fucking tarantulas and shit like that and rats. And he's like, oh, please don't bite me, darling. Please don't bite me, darling. On live TV. It's fucking hilarious.
Wait, what's crazy to me is that guy gets to be a celebrity.
Yeah.
Oh, there's been some. It shouldn't be called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. It should be called Get Me Out of Here.
It should be called I Need Money, Get Me Out of Here.
I need fucking
trying
money.
to ride this. I'm trying to ride this famous butler thing. Get me out of here.
Exactly.
I'm 5 years off my debt being cleared. Get me out of here.
Hashtag I love Princess Diana. Please don't scrutinize me.
Do you guys have such a strong cancel culture as we do here in the States?
Kind of, but it's not as noticeable. It's easier to ignore. It's easier to ignore because the Americans have taken it to a whole new level. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've got people.
I don't think British people, because if Prince Andrew's not got cancelled yet, anything can happen.
Yeah,
that guy still walks. That guy still walks around.
Yeah,
like
our British version of Dr. Fauci just got done snogging his secretary on CCTV during the pandemic, and the Prime Minister's is like, yeah, whatever.
Yes. Good one, Matt. I'd have done the same. I would have jerked off like Louis.
We got to just fucking tag Louis in this episode, man.
I don't think we want to watch it.
No, you've got a sense of humor, mate. Can you imagine if we got him on? Jesus fucking Christ. That'd be amazing.
He's a cool guy, man.
Yeah,
he's a chill guy.
I love that guy. I love his stuff. You know, I mean, he said he's sorry. That's good enough.
Our goal for now is Bert Kreischer as well.
Yeah, we want to get Bert Kreischer on, man. We reckon he'd be a right laugh.
Bert Kreischer's great, dude. I stayed in a condo with that guy in Canada, Calgary. Stayed in Calgary together. I've never heard anybody go to bed and then crack open a beer in bed in the other room. He's like, hey, the bed's big enough. If anybody wants to sleep in here, dude, it's like me, Ari Shafir, maybe a few other people. Yeah. Oh, hold on, sorry.
It's all good, man.
Somebody's calling me. Anyways, but yeah, so then like and he goes to bed and he's like, oh, I'll be in here, and then light shuts off, and then you just hear the it's like that guy drinking a beer in bed.
Oh, man, I love that. That is like, that's like what is the alcohol equivalent of wake and bake?
Just wake and reach.
Fucking wino.
Reach for the fucking
Being a fucking wino. No, I love that, man. That's cool though. I was going to say something else, man, but I've just gone completely blank. It happens, All right.
You know, a funny thing. You're talking about Johnny Depp. Did you see how he bum rushed me that time?
No, tell us.
Do you know about that when you brought that up? Oh, I thought maybe you had seen that. No, he came up on well, the reason I know that thing about him where he goes and introduces himself, because I come to the Comedy Store one night and I go to the main room. I have a spot in the main room, and usually I would get there like kind of right before my set, so I'm not waiting around too much, and I'll go straight to the green room and hang. And usually the green room's empty because like whoever's like usually the comedian's on stage and the green room is occupied by whoever's next, right? So I go in there, I'm thinking I'll get my notebook out, I'll see what I'm going to work on tonight. I don't even know who's on stage. Somebody's up there. I go in the green room and there's people, and I look and immediately I see, well, there's Doug Stanhope. And Stanhope's with Morgan Murphy and Ryan Adams, who's like this like singer, singer songwriter guy. Is pretty popular out here. And then yeah, just like it's like that guy looks exactly like Johnny Depp, and he walked right up to me. He's like, "Hey, I'm John," and I was like, "Wow." And but anyways, I sit there with them. I'm just trying to I'm in my head getting ready to go on stage. I go on stage and I'm dying. I mean, it's just not connected, man. I don't know what. This was years ago. I just didn't. It was just a bad night, and I start turning on him. Like I kind of like was like I just turn on him. It's like a Hail Mary. Like maybe if I turn on them, they'll like, and it started to work. Like it started to like I was like kidding. Like I was acting like I was mad. Like I was acting like, do you know who like Brody used to kind of do that. Like Brody's whole thing was like, he'd brag about how
I've been in the Hangover.
Yeah, right. So
due date. No, I fucking love Brody.
It's kind of a store thing, you know what I mean? And so like I made the heel turn. It's what I call it. It's like in wrestling, it's like a heel turn, you know, you turn into a bad guy. And so like I started turning heel, and it was starting to work. But I already had the light, you know what I mean? Like I was on my way out, and I made a comment like, you know, I'm back here hanging out with Johnny Depp. I don't need to be with you fucking. And then like it gets I feel from behind, I feel somebody step on the stage. I could feel it under my feet. Somebody, this presence. And like nobody comes up on stage while you're on stage. And I just feel it. And then I hear like accessories. like necklaces and chains and shit. And I look back and I look back and it's him, and he's walking up to the mic, and he grabs the mic, and he's like, "Your time's almost up," or something like that. And I said something like, "Dude, this isn't a pirate ship, dude. You don't get to commandeer my set," or something like that. And the crowd is like, they're not even laughing. They're just like, they can't believe this shit. They can't believe it. Like they can't believe it. Their mouths are open wide. And then he's like something like, "All right, well, I'll give you an extra minute." And I'm like, "Thanks, Johnny Depp." And he's like, he just walks off, and the place erupts like, whoa. Like it took this delay of like, once I said, "All right, thanks, Johnny Depp," and he walked away, it was like this weird, imagine, you know, you've been at a comedy show for like 2.5 hours. You've seen it all. Here's another fucking guy. Most of the audience is gone. I'm waiting for my check. They're trying to sober up to drive home. And you're just sitting there like, it's hard to even laugh. And, you know, I love that shit. I'm starting to, you know, like
I got an interesting one for you. That's kind of Johnny Depp and royalty related almost.
Yeah.
So I was lifeguard. There's a town near here called Poundbury, and Prince Charles's architect basically designed the whole place. It is weird. My girlfriend lives there. I go there all the time. And it's like architecture that you've never seen before. And it's weird. They got some weird ass rules. And I'm lifeguarding that swimming pool in Poundbury. And then fucking helicopter just flies over and lands in the football field. And I'm just lifeguarding the pool, but I look over my shoulder and that's fucking Prince Charles is getting into a limousine. Like, the dude was like fucking 15 feet away.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, fuck that guy. And I just carried on lifeguarding. You know what I mean? But it was just like crazy.
That's like, yeah, it's like insane kind of fame that it like,
people just
like
running.
Freezes.
People knew. It's like they knew. They just started running towards the field to take photographs and that.
Why was Johnny Depp?
Oh no, what I mean is that level of fame.
Yeah, I mean that's like
with a scimitar. Like,
yeah, Johnny Depp. Yeah, Johnny Depp was with him. Yeah, I could hear the jangling of his accessories.
He's a full Jack Sparrow.
He's like, "Your lifeguard's almost done, Dan." This isn't some pirate shit. You can't just come to my pool. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Oh, dear, man. The black pearl comes out of the swimming pool. It's my pool.
Oh man, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, that's a crazy fucking level of fame. That guy has, and it was crazy about that time too, was it was right after, it was the first time he was in public since his that divorce shit, you know, with that girl. Remember that? It was like super dramatic. Yeah. It's like the first time he was in public since then. So I wake up the next day and I got all these like texts and then I'm deciphering through DMs and stuff. And then I notice it's like a bunch of people are asking for interviews, like publications. And so I have a friend who his wife works for E. And he was like, hey, man, is it cool if my wife gets the interview? And then to me, I was like, Corinne, and my buddy Rick Ingram, great comedian, his wife, Corinne. I'm like, yeah, if I'm going to give anybody an interview, it's going to be a friend of, you know, like family. So I give it to her. And the day after that, I mean, my shit was all over the world. Like every, you know, Johnny Depp interrupts comedian Mat Edgar set at the world famous Comedy Store. And it's like the most famous comedian in the world for a day.
Yeah. He was going to buy a place just down the road called Pennsylvania Castle. It's on an island named Portland. It's about 4 miles away from here. And right next to it, it's got the pirates graveyard. Like actual pirates were buried there.
No shit.
Their gravestones are still there. It's from the 1800s and before. You can go there and see the graves.
Dude, he should, of all people, should buy that shit.
I know. He didn't in the end. This is back in 2010, 2011.
He was rolling in it.
Nah, but it was not a very guarded place. Like the walls are only like 5-6 feet high. They're made of stone. You know, I mean, I don't know what they would have to have done.
Oh, they would have, yeah. They would have had to do work and shit.
Because I remember
who remodels a castle.
Exactly right. Because I remember when the Olympics happened in 2012 in London, in this town, Weymouth. This is where they did the sailing games, and I'm not joking. The security was like next to nothing. Like it was just next level. Unbelievable.
Oh yeah. I mean that kind of shit. Whenever there's Olympics, it's like, oh, you know what was dope was you know, my dad got a job in the government out here. He was the CFO of Homeland Security. So like using Trump's cabinet, basically. And he's like, that guy, whenever a president, you know, goes anywhere, it's like there's snipers that show up before he's going to be where he's going. Just to man the fucking, you know, there's nobody's taking out the president 2021, you know, or 2020. Yes. Like, what's his name? Mark Maron. He had Barack Obama on his podcast. His podcast was at his house. It was in his garage. Barack Obama came to his garage a week before that. The not Homeland Security. What? Secret Service. The Secret Service shows up to everybody's house and like makes arrangements where snipers are going to hang out on their roof. It's like,
fuck it out.
Yeah, just like blows up the neighborhood. It's like insane that, like, you know, imagine getting that knock on your door, like, hey, the president's going to be here in a week. We need to use your roof.
You know, that's why it was so controversial. Like when Prince Harry did that interview of Oprah Winfrey and they're saying that they lost their security once they sort of stepped down from the camera. I'm thinking that's insane. That's insane,
man. That's cold, and that just makes it. It's like, see, this family's fucked up.
Yeah, it won't be Prince Charles that gets the next because he's a divorcee and all that.
Yeah, you don't want. Do you see, respect to those guys? I mean, they're like, for real, dude. They broke out of this. They see the archaic nature. I mean, it's like that's not where we are in existence anymore, and they're doing their own fucking thing. You know, like fuck yeah.
I love that. There's an episode of South Park called "The Canadian Royal Wedding," and it's basically a parody of the 2011 Royal Wedding with Prince William and Kate. Yeah, and it's so funny. It's like, it's part of Canadian tradition. He wipes his arms in maple syrup as it's part of Canadian tradition. And there's the car show, and then like when a dragon shows up, and then the abbey starts
the
crumbling.
car's got square wheels.
Yeah, and it's like, spectators are being crushed by rubble. This is not part of Canadian tradition at all.
This is not tradition.
Oh God, I love that show.
And then every Canadian gets like sent a beacon that their country needs them, and Ike opens up his box.
Oh yeah, shit.
Oh, I do remember that. It's like it's calling to come back.
I love that. I love it when they do the Wizard of Oz and it's like, follow the only road. And it's like, I thought there was only one road. Yeah, you're going the wrong way, buddy.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, here, anyway, let me look at my phone real fast. Hold on.
Yeah, no worries. Like, so if you got a short, man, that's cool, man. We've got over an hour of footage anyway. I want to ask you what your favorite movie is though before we finish up.
Of course, man. Yeah, dude. I'm here. I just responded to my girl.
Yeah.
So wait, what do you say? What my favorite movie?
Or TV show?
Or TV show. Or
TV show.
Porno.
Or porno.
Ooh. Oh, now come on, guys. You said we were almost done.
You're a fucking day.
So favorite movie. Fuck. You know it sucks. Whatever I say right now, I'm gonna regret as soon as I get back in my car.
Do you ever like get high and then every movie you watch when you're high is your new favorite movie?
Yeah.
Man, I did that with the 13th Floor a couple of weeks ago. That's my favorite movie now. Like, it probably won't be in a couple. Yeah.
That's it. Inception. Favorite movie. Fucking how high?
Inception?
No, I'm just saying, like, for example, every time I get high and watch a film, it's my new favorite movie.
Can you hear that dog?
Right.
Yeah, is that your dog?
No.
Not me.
I don't have
it's
a dog.
me. I know.
In my car.
Dog outside.
It's a dog. Tell that dog to shut the fuck up. If it's not your dog, mate. I don't care about that dog. I don't love that dog. I love your dog.
I don't love that dog. My favorite movie.
Shut the fuck up, dog. Sorry.
God, it's hard, man.
You can just lie to us and we'll believe you.
Yeah. No, don't lie to us.
No, don't lie to us.
Don't lie.
Well, it's hard to say.
We lost you a second there.
I
got you. We got you.
He's trying to get out of saying his favorite movie.
Yeah, because I was gonna say Almost Famous, but then it's like if I think about it, I like.
Or we narrow it down to a comedy.
Say again, for what?
Yeah, if you do that, narrow it down to a comedy or something. I'd say my favorite comedy is this movie that just came out last year called Palm Springs.
Oh, okay.
From Andy Samberg and the Lonely Island guys produced it.
Oh man,
and
I've seen that
those guys are consistent, man. I'm hard to crack, and I'm one of those guys that like there hasn't been a good comedy movie in like since, but I'm like since Old School or something like that.
Old School's good.
But Palm Springs, I laughed every single minute. Something made me laugh. It was very well written. It was well executed. The actors were great. The scene was super. The set it takes place in like the Mojave Desert. It's like the Palm Springs out here. It's like it's very California, and it cracked me up. That, and there's one other funny movie, and it goes underrated because it's funny. I already mentioned Armageddon is a comedy in my book, but a few years ago, this movie came out with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell where they played cops. It was called The Other Guys.
The Other Guys.
Yeah. The Other Guys, dude. It is so fucking funny, man.
When they do that dive at the beginning,
that got me. So the dive in the beginning, I was like hooked. I'm like, this is going to be
when they
funny.
Jump off.
Yeah, because it's so like generic, like hacky action. You like jump.
It's when they look at each other, like they look at each other and say something. I forget what they say. But
they say like something. They say something like land in the planner or something, like where they're gonna land, like, and he's like, know it or whatever, and they just go, and the slow motion, because you think somehow they're gonna make it, but then like they get closer and closer to the ground, like I don't think they're gonna make it, and sure enough, splat, dude, so many funny like tropes in that movie that I feel like they invented, even like okay, like Will Ferrell's wife is played by Eva Mendes, and he's just like super just annoyed by her. Like, oh God. And it's like, and Mark Wahlberg is like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like, yeah, don't get me started. Like, hey,
see when they're lying on the floor.
It's relatable
after
though.
The building blows up and they're talking about Star Wars, how inaccurate it is. And Mark Wahlberg's like, that's an entirely accurate movie. Everything in Star Wars is accurate.
It's funny. It's relatable as well because we all known in some point in our life the ugly dude that had the hot girlfriend that he treated like shit. It was just
are you insane?
It was like a glitch in the Matrix. You just didn't compute.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what, like, dude, like, do you have any idea who you look like?
Yeah, there was I tell you a film that I watched recently that I laughed consistently, and it was Windy City Heat. T-Boat got me onto it.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Windy
Don
City
Barris
Heat?
is one of my definitely. I learned a lot from Don Barris.
We're getting him on next weekend.
Oh yeah.
So that
tell
cool.
him his favorite butterfly collector says hello.
Oh, nice.
Tell him that. Just please tell him. Oop, my phone's dying out here.
Yeah, no, cool. Well, we'll wrap up soon though. But hey, thanks for being on here, buddy. Really, really appreciate it. It's been an awesome session.
Hey, dude, thanks for saying what up to me, man, and making this easy for me. And you guys are awesome. Some good laughs. Usually these podcasts, I don't laugh with the host, so
we're trying to change that game. You know what I mean? We're our own.
You guys are funny dudes, man. You got to make your way out here sometime. Come to a show at the Comedy Store.
We will. Once things open up, man, we'll be coming over.
Please do, man, and hit me up and get on in.
And you're welcome back anytime, my friend. I'd love to have you on again, catch up, let us know what's happening.
For sure, man.
I'm all about obscure, abstract shit too. You know, that's funny. Anything that
I like this. I like how you guys do this, man. It's not serious. We went on a bunch of tangents. It's fucking fun. Just hanging.
That's the way we roll, man.
In this day and age, just everything that's going on, conversation is the most important thing. Interconnectedness, you know.